ActionSA is taking a strong stance against the potential granting of South African citizenship to Phil Craig, the leader of the Cape Independence Advocacy Group. They argue his advocacy for the Western Cape to break away from the rest of the country demonstrates a lack of a good character. ActionSA's Member of Parliament, Lerato Ngobeni, has penned an open letter to the Minister of Home Affairs, Dr. It's actually the Minister of Home Affairs who is, who's the new Minister of Home Affairs again? No. So urging him to reject Craig's application. The party is warning that they will consider legal action in the citizenship, that if the citizenship is granted. We now speak to Lerato Ngobeni to get more details on their concerns. The minister is actually Schreiber. Lerato, thank you so much for making time for us this morning. Let's start off here. Has there been any response as yet from Minister Schreiber?
Good morning, Aldrin and Newzroom Afrika viewers. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Not as yet. I have been in touch with my team. I haven't received a response as yet, but I did send the letter yesterday. So we are hopeful that at least an acknowledgement will come through this morning or before the end of business today.
Yeah. So tell us, what are you trying to achieve here?
Look, as ActionSA, we've always advocated for the fact that the rule of law has got to be restored in our country, particularly when it comes to issues of dealing with illegal migrants and migrants in this country. And you remember that we were very vocal with the Chidima Adechina matter when that came up. And this matter is even more serious than Chidima because this particular individual is seeking citizenship in our country. However, he wishes for our country to break up, for the Western Cape to become a completely different state from South Africa. Our view is that when in any country, when you're applying for citizenship, there is, a citizen's test. You've got to show good faith, that you intend to be a good citizen, a good ambassador for the country. You intend to act positively towards the country and contribute positively towards the country. This is somebody who is a foreign national, who has not got any ability whatsoever to be part of the political process, and we think that this is vile. This is very close to what AfriForum and Solidarity are doing, and so we don't believe that he will be a good citizen in standing. And so what we are asking Phil to do, is to wait until that secession dream of his comes true, and he can apply for citizenship in that ceded Western Cape. As of now, he's asking to be a citizen of a South Africa he does not believe in, and we don't believe that he deserves citizenship. And citizenship, we must remember, our law states that citizenship is a privilege, not a right, and the minister has the discretion to reject this application, and that's what we've asked of him.
Yeah, and I guess that is at the core of the argument as well, is that if you look at, for instance, the powers of the minister, he or she, this is now the person who applies to become a South African citizen, that he or she has been fully admitted to the Republic for permanent residence therein, he or she ordinarily a resident in the Republic, and that he or she has been so a resident for continuous period. But the part for me that is interesting also is looking at subsection E, 51E. He or she intends to continue to reside in the Republic or to continue in the service of the government or the Republic or an international organization of which the government of the Republic is a member or a person or association of persons resident or established in the Republic. And the emphasis for me here is around the Republic. And our constitution is clear that the Republic has 9 provinces and the Western Cape is part of those 9 provinces.
That's the particular section. In fact, I cited 2 sections, but that's exactly the section that I cited in my letter to the minister, and that is the one that really gives weight to this matter and this argument. We want people, as you know, our country is struggling with issues of unity. As it is, we have issues in our own way around black, white, Indian. Former people who were living in this country who were not considered citizens. We fought very hard to have a South Africa that it currently looks like. And so we are not going to be allowing, particularly somebody who's not even a born citizen of this country, who's asking for our hand to give him that citizenship, to be advocating for a secession in this way. It's taking us backwards, and it's actually a distraction from the real issues that we're dealing with. You know that the president was in Gauteng some couple of weeks ago, wondering what has happened to Gauteng and how rotten Gauteng is. We've got real issues. Yesterday we were on a oversight visit to schools. Issues are dire in this country in some instances. Yes, we've got some great things that are going on, but we've got serious issues that are affecting people, and particularly poor people in this country. And this talk of secession, honestly, South Africans don't deserve to hear it, particularly from somebody who's even asking for that same citizenship. And so I still stand and say he must wait for that cessation and then apply to the Republic of the Western Cape. Currently, he's asking for the Republic of South Africa, and he's not a citizen in good standing in this regard, or a member of the public in good standing, as he has been here for 20 years. And so yesterday he wrote me a tweet that was quite arrogant, or a post, arrogantly saying the Western Cape is his home, going nowhere. This is the kind of audacity that we have allowed in this country. Some of us have lived overseas. You respect the laws of that country, of the nation, your host nation, and you are obliged. If you don't like it, there are many, many countries across the globe that can meet your needs, and you can go and live there. This is the attitude that the South Africans have to take at this point. There's way too many things that have gone wrong. And finally, without taking up too much of your time, Aldrin, you know that yesterday or the day before, there was breaking news of people, human trafficking in Lombardy East. You know, young people who are abducted from their countries, or whatever the issue may be, coming in here, roaming the streets. Now we don't know who they are. We've got to go look for them. Those are the issues that we're dealing with. And the Phil Craig issue is truly a distraction, and we must not give him the space for him to ventilate whatever his issue is about our country.
Yeah. And in that letter to the minister, you cited the article in the Citizen newspaper. And in that interview, he argues that he was within his right as a permanent resident to advocate for the independence of the Western Cape. I'm currently a permanent resident and have been for many years. I am advocating for Cape independence in accordance with the rights the Constitution affords me now as a permanent resident. So as a permanent resident, he's saying that he's making these calls.
Well, this is why we are saying that citizens, the Act of 1995, the South African Citizenship Act, affords the minister to review any naturalization applications and to approve or reject them, and to decide whether or not a person can remain in our country. These are the powers that are conferred upon the minister. These are the powers that we are asking the minister to invoke. And so we have lots of people in our country, because of human rights and all of our beautiful constitution, that is being misused and abused in very many ways. He's not the only one. I'm receiving information through my private messaging about some other chap who's even more vile than Phil Craig, which I will look into. I don't want to disfame him without knowing the full details of his name, but people are writing to me that there is somebody else who is worse than Phil Craig. And so we've got to crack down on these things. And we did the same thing with the Chidima issue, and who was a young person at the time, and whose mother was the issue, who caused the issues that she faced. And the whole of South Africa came down on that young woman, and we were part of that advocacy to clarify what was happening with this matter in Parliament, asking the minister what is happening, so that we can feed back that information to the South African people. We are doing the same thing with Phil Craig. He's no special. If in fact he is within his rights, or whatever the case may be, the minister is the only person who can come back to us truthfully, and we can feed the information back to the South African people. And wherever that we feel that the minister's ruling is unjust or is not according to the aspirations of what our constitution aspires for, we will take it forward as ActionSA. We're not going to end the matter there.
Well, why don't you go for attacking the permanent residency and that particular status as well? because the minister also does have powers to revoke that status. And in
This
his
is particularly...
just quickly, Lerato, in the statement that he issued, I think it was on Wednesday, he says that I'm British by birth, proudly so, and I've never made any attempt to conceal this fact.
Yeah, so this is what we are asking the minister. Firstly, we ask for facts. There are various ways. We've written to the minister will respond. If it's unsatisfactory, there are many instruments in parliament that we can employ to get the minister to act on this issue. And once he's not afforded citizenship, then the grounds will be that he must be expelled from our country. You saw that what was done to our minister our ambassador in the United States, that he got excommunicated from that country. No country wants somebody in its midst who has no rights, because citizenship is a very big thing. And a citizenship, as we've said, is a privilege. And so we are going to work with the minister and ask the minister to do what is right and rid the South African people of somebody who doesn't even belong here, of causing disunity among us. We need South Africans to be the ones who ventilate. That constitution affords the people of South Africa, citizens of this nation, to be the ones that solve their own problems. We don't need a foreign national with issues in his own country. He must go and ask for this cessation in his own country and go solve the problems there. We have enough to deal with in South Africa, and we simply are not going to allow characters like him. He will be a mascot for this issue going forward, so that we can set a precedent for the likes of him in the future.
Thank you so much. Lerato Ngobeni is a member of ActionSA and also a member of Parliament, on that letter that they've written to the Minister of Home Affairs, and this is on the citizen application by Phil Craig, who is a proponent and also one of the activists for the Cape Independence Advocacy Group, actually one of the co-founders of that particular group and the movement that he is supporting.